I have a question. Was creativity easier when you were younger? The answer to that question is almost a universal yep. I wrote my first novel when I was 15 years old. I made my first feature-length film when I was 17. Are they any good? God no, they're terrible. They were made by a teenager, but they were fun, and they were easy, and they were effortless in a way that I personally wouldn't experience again for another 20 years. Creativity felt effortless when we were younger. For one very simple reason, we never questioned it. We didn't expect anything out of our creativity. When you were younger, you just made and did creative things for as long as they were fun for you. And when they stopped being fun, you stopped doing them. It was as simple as that. And so, your creativity could just flow. But as we got older, we started asking our creativity to carry a heavier burden. We're grown-ups now. It can't just be fun. Well, now it has to be good. It has to be successful. It has to make us rich and famous. It has to pay our bills. The list goes on until our creativity feels like a chore, a nag, something closer to a persistent toothache than something you used to do for fun. I call this the ulterior motive, and it deserves its own video, but its antidote is the Grail method. If you're new here, my name is Perry, and in a previous video, I laid out my take on a system of creativity used by some of history's greatest artists and thinkers. I called that system the Grail method, and it is simple, but it is powerful. In the last video, I laid out what the Grail method is, and the one rule that makes it so effective. One notebook. Everything goes in it, review it constantly, no to-do lists. That's it. If you haven't watched that video, I'll put a link to it at the end of this one. Watch it later to get more specifics on the how of the method. Because in this video, we're going to talk about what makes the Grail method so effective at unsticking your creativity, how it's different from something like, say, a bullet journal, and what using the Grail method actually feels like. You ever watch those videos of people unclogging drainage pipes? You see this long tube of mud just slide out of the pipe before all of a sudden the water bursts through and starts flowing again? That is what the Grail method does. It unsticks your creativity pipe. In retrospect, there was probably a better way of phrasing that. Right now, if your flow of creativity feels blocked, it's blocked by something you're probably not expecting. Productivity. I am convinced that productivity is poison to creativity. This is not to say that you cannot be both creative and productive. You absolutely can, but you cannot do both at the same time. This is why things like bullet journals tend not to work well for artists and creatives. It's not that bullet journals are bad or that they don't work. They are fine and they do. No, the problem is trying to take a system for productivity and apply it to creativity. Way too many of us, feeling creatively stuck and frustrated, watched some late-night YouTube video about bullet journaling or some other productivity system and thought to ourselves, that's my problem. I just need to get more done. I need to learn to be more productive. We confused a need to be creative with an inability to be productive. We are like farmers standing in barren, empty fields, just wondering why we can never harvest anything. Other people are harvesting their crops. What the hell's wrong with us? Are we too lazy? Are we not motivated enough? Not disciplined enough? Maybe we need a better tractor. That's the problem. Never seemingly stopping to realize that our fields are empty because we never took the time to actually plant any seeds. No amount of effort or organization can harvest what has not grown. Look, let me repeat this another way, because if there is one thing that I want you to take away from this video, it is this. Creativity is sowing, productivity is reaping. If you skip step 1, no amount of step 2 in the world will make up for it. If you want to know why so many creatives in the comments of the previous video who felt stuck and frustrated, sometimes for decades, found the messiness of the Grail method to be a breath of fresh air, this is why. It's not that the Grail method is magic or special or new. It's none of those things. It's simply reminding them of the step that they have been skipping. And skipping that step doesn't just hurt your creativity. One of the most amazing side effects of the Grail method for me has been that it has, quite unexpectedly, made me more productive. Not because I use it to track my time or my habits or plan out my day. I don't do any of that. It's for the simple fact that once planted and allowed to grow, I finally had crops to harvest. Productivity actually comes quite naturally when you have something to work on that you are actually passionate about. Bullet journals, calendars, to-do lists, note-taking apps, these things are all fine for productivity. The Grail method does not replace any of these things because the Grail method is not a system for productivity, it is a system for creativity. And it will happily coexist with any or all of those other methods, but it must come first. But look, enough of theory. What does it look like in practice? How does it feel to actually use the Grail method? How is it different? Let me try to illustrate this with an example. Imagine you want to write a novel. For those of you who do want to write a novel, this should be easy. For the last few years, you've kind of had this idea in the back of your mind, but you can never quite seem to get it out of your head and onto the paper. Sitting down at a Word document, your mind just kind of goes blank. You're not really sure how to translate those little bits of ideas into an actual first draft, let alone a finished manuscript. You're stuck because you are trying to jump straight into productivity. You're trying to harvest before you've planted. This is where the Grail method comes in. You carry this book around with you, and occasionally you jot down your ideas for, say, characters or scenes as they just happen to occur to you. In the break room at work one day, you see a newspaper headline that seems kind of interesting to you. You don't really know why it's interesting, but you trust that instinct, so you tear it out and you stick it right in the pages of your book. As you review the diary, you start to see the possibilities form between characters, settings, items, and events that you've already saved. You write all those new connections down in the book. Those things that you've collected now start to suggest even more new ideas, maybe even entire scenes. One day you end up realizing that that newspaper headline you saved gives you this great idea for the big climax scene of your story. Over time, those scenes start to grow as you review them. They get longer. They get harder to fit into the tiny pages of your notebook. So you sit down at the computer and you pull up a blank Word document. Not to write a whole draft this time, but just to write one scene. And then maybe another comes after that, and maybe another after that. Pretty soon, the pipe is clear. Now your creativity is just flowing. Scenes grow into chapters, new things come out as you write. Those characters and events and ideas that started off all jumbled up in one notebook, they now make their way out onto your computer where you can organize them and flesh them out. You can now begin to harvest. This is the real magic of the Grail method for me. How easy and natural it makes the productivity. You stop feeling like you have to force yourself to be productive. Instead of immediately trying to write a novel from scratch, you begin by giving your thoughts, ideas, and inspirations a place to grow. You plant them. You put them in a place where nothing is expected of them. And the more new connections that you make, the more excited by the idea you end up becoming. And the more excited you become, the more naturally motivated you are to turn these connections into a finished product. You will find yourself naturally wanting to sit down and do the work because your Grail diary helps you cultivate what you lost as an adult. Your excitement to create, the joy of play. Because play is the missing piece between our childhood creativity and our adult creativity. At some point in our lives, we stopped being playful and we started trying to be productive. And this process is the same no matter what your brand of creativity. It doesn't have to be writing a novel. It can be painting or acting or dancing, making a YouTube video, learning a language. Whatever your type of creativity, whatever that means to you, the experience is the same. All this method asks of you is trust and patience. Too many of us, as we grew up, lost trust in ourselves. We stopped tuning in to that little creative voice inside of us. We stopped listening to our own instincts. We forgot the wisdom of Polonius and Hamlet. This, above all, to thine own self be true. Feeling like we couldn't trust ourselves and our creativity, we sought ways to force it, to push it, to bend it to our will and make it productive. But if you let it, the Grail method will help you tune back in to that little voice inside. It will help you start to trust your own instincts again. It will help you be true to yourself. I know it has for me. It's helped me to build this YouTube channel to over 20,000 subscribers in under a year. Also with the help and support of these lovely patrons and YouTube members. It is a system that has helped me personally transform from a newly divorced, overweight alcoholic cleaning office buildings for $13 an hour at age 30 to a professional artist and voice actor narrating audiobooks for some of the biggest publishers in the world and making a living doing what I love at age 40. If you want to dive deeper into the nitty-gritty of the Grail method, you can watch this video next, where I answer some of the absolutely fantastic questions that a bunch of you guys left in the comments of that first video. And if you haven't yet, you can also click here to watch that first video to get an introduction to the steps of the Grail method.